So I just know, like, there really isn't a form of, like, or maybe there is, but there really isn't. I'm just gonna say there isn't a form of, like, recognition or full-on recognition just from the voice, or at least there's a familiarness with the voice and, like, just kind of like a sense of familiarity that's, like, nice, or just that's, like, warmth. Like if the if the just saw a sign. If like the actual integrated, like, multiple aspects that, like, are encompassing, that's right word, encompassing, like, all the features and aspects of, like, a person, or, like, a thing, or, like, a place, or a situation, or an aura, or a thing like that. So it's hard to compound or compress such info, details, matters, but it's just sometimes you just know that you just gotta discover more. And so let's, I guess, just talk about that, because once again, like, super amazing, like, a super fan of that. I'm a huge fan of that, and I'm a huge recognizer of fans, but I also recognize that there's a lot that can get done if it isn't known. Like if it's not known, like, those features and those details, I feel like it's a lot more attractive. I don't know how to explain that. I feel like there's qualities that are just non-physical. So I had to mention that. I feel like things are just in the art of mentioning and the art forms of miraculousness, and not to pinpoint, because that's what happens all the time. To broaden, because that's what we are. Awareness. And I gotta remember that. But then again, I do play around with it majorly. Well, I can, at least. Should. And the truth is, I'm just incredible. And I wanted to continue this for just a little wee bit longer, because I feel like it's very appropriate for the amassing of things, and for the goodness of all, and for the greatness that there is to become, and for the imagination that I want to extend, and all the willpower that we have to portray, and the immensities of the love that we have, and the journey to discover the things that art and that do and that can apply to the things that can do in art, apply to the art forms that, art forms that already exist, to the connecting love of, like, fresh and hungry, like, really literally abundance. Transformation, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. At the fullest height. And, that's just not to pinpoint, but to make the broadest pinpoint upon that pinpoint ever, because pinpointing happens a lot. But I feel like it's a technique that actually you can use and develop in philosophy. So, I definitely like. It's incredible, like everything that comes from pinpointing certain things to memorizing this and that to portraying a certain fashion and then remembering a certain remembrance that does and doesn't have to apply to a certain fashion, which doesn't and doesn't have to apply to a certain ego. Like, what's the most miraculous thing that I'm trying to encompass fully is just the miraculous, like, full-on. And I want to support that encompassing cyclical thing, because I feel right about that. I feel right about that deep within me. I feel like that's something I conquered already, so I can handle that. And it is not something that I know is just a significant portrayal of what I originally put forth, which was philosophical, ex-political, sustainable, and stable, and ultimately futuristic point of view to a very general idea of a galactic society, which I would assume would have a spaceport. For what I've been thinking about a lot, which is the headquarters, this being the headquarters of the Federation, which means there's no more 3D. So, like, 3D, is that 3D? That's like the kind of the question I want to put out there, but I already know the answer. So, just that little phrase I wanted to put out there, just to say, because there's no need to be rude. When it comes to like, headquarters of the Federation is here. Like, I was thinking all day about that. Like, what's the point of thinking about that? Like, what's the point of thinking that because the headquarters of Federation is on Earth, that being the reason that we're no longer in 3D, or like that is being the reason that we're not attached to 3D, or what kind of phrase is that? What kind of like sentence is that? So that's like not even what I was thinking about, like out loud, but like kind of thinking internally. But still, it's absolutely, I think, exciting to be committed to that. Just to learn leadership for the next 12 years, and then to have more fun. Because, like, there's so much energy that I already put out that I'm not going to repeat myself with when it comes to crystalline DNA and crystalline crystals, all that jazz, quartz, all that jazz, to beings and dimensions, all that jazz, to all the things that go to and fro. And I'm not about really forgetting the leadership that brought me to this point. So, like, what? Can you balance the leadership between all the mastery that's applicable in what's already been succeeded or victorized? That's kind of like a rhetorical question from the mastery that I'm still honestly learning about, from the self-mastery that I've achieved. Not just flirting about the self-mastery of putting together a bunch of ideas and then creating something out of it, and then having an actual complex based off of that, and then just being instilled by something that's not a part of the actual fabrication of nature or reality. Like, what is really AJA, Allegretto Journeyman Academy, have to do with the major education of intergalactic studies, you know? Is that something that I really want to be, like, for the rest of my life, a headmaster? Like, is that something that I really care about that much? And the other thing is, like, do I want to even, like, what I want to do? Do I want to teach that badly? Like, what do I want? What do I want was, like, the major turning point that happened. What do I want? And it just seems like there's more power in words than could ever be before. Because there's more reasons to encourage, especially for this 12-year leadership thing, which is the first thing that's ever happened like it. And which is why I'm kind of doing it. That's the reason I'm doing it, right? You know, because it's the first time ever. This is the going on the 11th year that it's going to be my campaign. That's completely revolutionized the way that leadership campaigns are done. Like, I find it way too easy to be focused, especially when it comes to the headquarters of the Federation. Being here on Earth, like, that's freaking awesome. Like, ambassadorship, I've really been about that for like 2 years, and so, like, of course this is just one aspect of mastery, just developing the whole complex, because not that maybe this wisdom matters, but I think this wisdom matters, because I think there's positive things to beget from this wisdom that I want to portray. The following 2 years of ambassadorship, just in the awareness of, like, the knowledge of this progress that's been made in terms of as incredible as this word is that I'm about to say sounds, ego. Because of ego is like the winner. Ego, like, is the victor. Like, because of, like, intergalactic and interplanetary matters. Because of what happened in 2017, which is the actual complete unification of the surface. Miko's surface oasis. Complete unification. Which means also the crystallization of the librarial understanding of, and I'm going really slow, but library understanding of the Library of Pathologos. Just the librarial understanding of the Library of Pathologos, connected with the multidimensionality of the fact that it's just a multidimensional library. Combined with Fresh and Hungry, which is actually connecting all of the first connect. Well, I would say the first connection that actually publicly connects in a unified way many different sports and fulfilling like high speed, high technology stuff, and that's what it's all about. We gotta have, and it's like, oh, that means we're gonna pinpoint it. No, it means, like, I'm not gonna say it again. It just means, like, there's just more joy and effort and ego, and there's more joy and effort and ego than ever before, because literally I just have so much understanding of all the aspects that have to do with the accelerating characterization of people. I mean, after a while, after saying, like, celebrating victory, preparing for victory, first of all, in 2016, and then that whole year, the entire year was full of just all the things that I did. It is just, so I was 23, and then, 2017, I was with I might as well tell this. I was with a WeWek. Yeah, I was with WeWek. WIWEK. Oh, dude, I wish. But their music is still awesome. I definitely listen to music. Favorite song is Curious. But anyway. Oh, it sounds so sick, dude. It's a good song. Dude, it's like, do we even want to, like, waste our time with 12 years of, like, multifaceted selves? And, like, I'm not even bothered with trying to do anything that has to tie with anything that was before. Like, houses, real estate, yeah, cars, wonderful, next. It's like, but that's what the planetary leader of Fresh and Hungry did. That's like what happened. Like all of that, full disclosure, all of that, whatever it's called. And it's a really big deal. But all of those things that I did in January and December, it doesn't matter, dude, the months. But it was a huge impact. And it had a huge impact on transcendence and life, and just, there's vibrational energy everywhere. So it's just living at that higher vibration and maintaining it, and then if it's just, I mean, it's so easy to maintain. So, like, it's all about stability. Like, those things that are with that community, like, okay, I support that. I support the Venus Project. I support resource-based economy because it works. Because that's what I put a lot of effort into, and it was a success, a massive success. And because Project Hyperking was like a magic success, masterful success. It was like a magical, masterful success to be agreed. Like a major round of applause or whatever is done with magical mastery. But the point is, Headmaster, do I want to do that? Yeah, I do love magic. 12 years of leadership involved with AJ, of course, is going to be around 12 years.